my YouTube family. This is Moeen, your relationship coach and educator. Greetings to everyone. How are you all doing today? I hope you're staying hopeful and enjoying life the best way you can by the grace of God. I have a question today which reads, what are your thoughts on boundaries in marriage? But before I share some thoughts, let me share today's marital affirmation with you. We have the power and freedom to create the marriage we desire. Okay? Now, back to the question, what is boundaries in marriage? Let me first provide a simple definition for what boundaries in marriage could look like. So, boundaries in marriage could be viewed as decisions partners establish to protect their marriage. In other words, it is like keeping all intruders out of your relationship. Boundaries also helps to protect your relationship and provides a safe space. Now, I want you to note that establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries can help individuals and couples to understand what is and isn't acceptable behavior, as well as to provide what I made reference to before as a sense of safety and respect for each other. Okay? Now, one may ask, why do boundaries need to be established? And the best way I can answer that is setting boundaries could be seen as a form of self-respect, self-care. It also helps to create a clear guideline, right, as to how you would like to be treated and what is okay or what is acceptable for yourself and for your relationship. Okay? Now, let me establish that a healthy relationship is supposed to build on trust, honesty, self-control, genuine love, commitment, and respect, just to name a few, as these are some of the fundamentals of relationship building. Now, when these are well set in your marriage, there may hardly be any room to set boundaries because of the connectiveness, the respect and the bond a couple have with each other, whether before them or behind them. They are so committed to their relationship to the point that boundaries may not even need it. Okay? However, the idea of boundaries came about because of many facts that was presented in relationship counseling over the years, that there can be trouble sometimes when thoughts are not expressed by couples when they experience uncomfortable behaviors in their relationship. Thus, boundaries is important. Today, I will address only two types of boundaries. Boundaries for your marriage and boundaries for those who may try to intrude. Now, couples should first establish boundaries for self by identifying your feelings and express them to each other. The first step in building boundaries is to know and understand your feelings. What is making you feeling uncomfortable in the relationship? What are your concerns? And it is always best to talk about those concerns immediately rather than too late. Establish boundaries if your spouse does something that is just not right in words or in action. You can do this by using I statements and share how you feel and what you would prefer. Very important. Then after you do that, take a moment to analyze or just to observe if those boundaries are respected or if they have been broken, and then engage in a conversation about the situation. An example could be if your spouse continue to disrespect you. Express how that makes you feel. And if it continues, at some time you will have to establish boundaries until that behavior is improved. Very essential. Make sure that you convey your boundaries to your spouse. Explain why you're setting those boundaries or that boundary until things are improved, and share how you're hurting or if you continue to feel disrespected, so that your spouse will see the reason for the decision. Let me emphasize that setting boundaries should only be to enhance your relationship and not to make things worse. Okay? Boundary number 2. Now, married couples should be able to enjoy each other without others interfering because of what I would share as an open type of gate for everyone to do or say as they like with your partner. That would not be okay. Now, some boundaries are there for people to see, and some will be felt. And sometimes, some boundaries may reach a point where it might have to be forced. The important thing is understanding on both parts of the partners. You have some individuals, whether on social media or in person, just don't know how to behave or just don't care for the sanctity of your marriage. This sometimes show up by the way they greet, hug, touch, sometimes flirt, or talk with your spouse. So it is important to share your concern with your partner if something is bothering you. Let me also say that setting boundaries is not about manipulation, controlling, or being somebody's boss. It is about the decency of your relationship and also take into consideration your feelings. If you're bothered by anything you observe with your eyes or just by your gut feelings, be open with your partner and talk to them about it. Whether it's in regards to a friend, a family member, co-worker, church family, it is okay to say it. I have known of individuals who suffer in silence for years or for a long period of time because they're afraid of sharing what is bothering them in the relationship. Don't be afraid to share your concerns and establish reasonable boundaries to protect your marriage. And I also want to emphasize that boundaries also can be established if you continue to experience, immediate concern from your partner, herself or himself, okay? If it's something that you're really concerned about, share it with him or her and let them know that this thing is affecting you, all right? In closing, let me say, whether it's a friend, or maybe I should say whether it's friendship or family relationship, it is important to realize that all relationships involve boundaries. And when those boundaries are crossed, it can be detrimental to the marital relationship. Okay? Thanks for listening, and may God's blessings and protection be upon you all always.